Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. On The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 14, Episode 14, Kyle Richards revealed that she removed the word wife from her Instagram bio after seeing a photo of her estranged husband, Mauricio Umansky, embracing another woman. This, in turn, made fellow estranged wife Dorit PK question if she had done the same on her own social media page. It makes me think, do I have wife on my Instagram? Dorit wondered while sitting next to castmate Bozoma St. John on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show. I don't know, I'm curious. Dorit then went over to the backstage area to retrieve her phone. Upon further inspection, she realized that her bio did not say anything about being the wife to Paul PK Kemsley. Oh shoot. Maybe I did. It just says Mama to Jagger and Phoenix Kemsley. Damn. Oh, it doesn't say wife to PK. Bozoma wondered. Did it ever? Dorit wondered aloud. I don't know, but if I would have taken it off. You'd have had to make a decision to take it off, Boz pointed out. Exactly, Dorit responded. Let me see if PK has husband. After pulling up PK's Instagram page, Dorit made a stunning revelation. Wow, that's it. It just says PK. That's literally it, she said. Nothing, it literally just says PK. Now that is a lesson within itself, Boz warned. That man is about himself. Since announcing their separation in May 2024, Dorit and PK have struggled to get on the same page, except when it comes to their kids. I feel that I have come a long way since the beginning of the separation, Dorit said on an earlier episode of the RHOBH after show. I feel like things are getting clearer and clearer and clearer. We're kind of going through things, finding our feet in how to navigate a separation publicly, raising and co-parenting our children. So we haven't gone into that place where we're actually doing the work, and I don't know if we ever will. Though the estranged spouses are still not on the best of terms, Dorit remains open to the possibility of reconciling in the future. I don't feel like I've reached a place where I know PK is not in my future, she said. At the same time, if he turned around to me tomorrow and said, Dorit, I made a terrible mistake. I want to come back home. Let's have a go at this. We belong together. Blah, 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 blah. I don't think I could accept that. I'm gonna go a step further. I know I couldn't. The sun was barely peeking over the horizon of Beverly Hills, but the drama was already wide awake. Dorit Kemsley stood in her kitchen, silk robe tied tight around her waist, a delicate crystal water glass in hand. The kind of glass so expensive, even the tap water inside it felt elevated. Her phone, ever present, sat propped against a marble fruit bowl, its screen glowing with a fresh flood of notifications. Why is my phone blowing up at 7 o'clock a.m.? Dorit muttered, her accent, that glorious, globe-trotting, where is she actually from accent, stretching across each syllable. PK was nowhere to be found. His usual morning soundtrack of humming along to 80s Britpop while brewing his tea was suspiciously absent. Dorit assumed he was out back by the pool, scrolling through football headlines, or maybe hiding in the home theater, sneakily eating leftover pizza. Typical PK things. But as Dorit tapped her phone screen, her carefully manicured fingers froze mid-scroll. The Bravo app, the very app that had become a second home to her over the years, was flashing an alert. XLUSI, PK Kemsley spotted in London with mystery woman. Excuse me? Dorit's voice sliced through the silence, sharp enough to crack a baccarat vase. Her thumb trembled as she clicked the link. The video was grainy, the kind of footage only a particularly dedicated tabloid could capture, but the unmistakable figure of PK filled the frame. His posture, his walk, even the way his shirt clung just a little too tightly to his stomach after years of Dorit's gourmet cooking. It was him, and he wasn't alone. Next to him was a brunette, younger, slender, wrapped in a Burberry trench coat that screamed trying to be incognito. They were laughing, heads bent close, their footsteps perfectly in sync. Dorit's mouth went dry. Wow, it was all she could muster. The word hung in the air like perfume, strong, lingering, impossible to ignore. But instead of crumbling, Dorit's survival instincts kicked in. She knew two things. First, she had to call Kyle, and second, she needed glam. If her world was about to fall apart on camera, she wasn't going down without a perfectly contoured face. Within the hour, her kitchen transformed into a crisis command center. Makeup brushes swirled across her skin while blow dryers hummed like distant helicopters. The camera crew, who had been scheduled to arrive later for a routine day-in-the-life segment, found themselves capturing a live marital mystery instead. Dorit perched at the kitchen island, wrapped now in a pale blue Balenciaga robe, scrolling her phone with manic energy. Kyle's face popped up on FaceTime, her hair still in rollers. "Dorit, what's happening? My phone's been going off. Is this about PK? Tell me it's fake." Dorit held her phone up to the camera, waving the incriminating video like evidence at a trial. "What do you make of this, Kyle? Because what I'm seeing, it's not nothing, darling." Kyle's brows furrowed. Oh wow. There it was again. That word. The two housewives fell into their familiar rhythm. Speculation, reassurance, and just the right amount of gossip sprinkled in for flavor. Kyle reminded Dorit that PK had a flair for the dramatic. Maybe it was a business meeting. Maybe she was a publicist. Maybe it was all a misunderstanding. Dorit's jaw clenched. "Kyle, I know my husband's posture. That is not a business posture." Before Kyle could respond, a producer slid a laptop across the counter toward Dorit. "We got the full footage," the producer said, eyes wide with the thrill of a scandal caught in real time. The video, now from multiple angles, captured PK and the brunette entering a swanky hotel. The brunette's hand rested lightly on PK's back, fingers splayed like they belonged there. They disappeared into an elevator, and the footage cut out. Dorit's stomach churned. "Wow," she whispered again, this time softer, a mix of hurt and fury. The rest of the day unfolded like a Bravo fever dream. Lisa Rinna, despite no longer being on the cast, called Dorit just to check in, which was Housewives code for "tell me everything so I can repeat it." Sutton sent a text filled with oddly placed emojis and a link to a private investigator. Garcelle, ever the voice of reason, called to say, "Take a breath before you confront him." But Dorit was past breathing. By the afternoon, PK's flight was tracked. He was en route back to Los Angeles. Cameras were ready. Dorit was ready. Her glam was perfection. Her outfit a subtle nod to scorned wife chick. Crisp white blazer, gold jewelry stacked like armor, and sunglasses large enough to hide any tears, should they fall. PK walked through the front door at sunset, a sheepish smile plastered across his face. "Babe," he began, arms open wide like nothing had happened. Dorit held up a manicured hand. "Before you say one word, PK, explain this." She'd hit play on the video, the images projected onto their marble kitchen backsplash like a cheating husband's version of a home movie night. PK's smile faltered. "Over that, right." He scratched his head. "That's just Michelle." "Michelle?" Dorit's voice dropped an octave. "And who exactly is Michelle?" PK shifted his weight from foot to foot. "My old mate's niece. She needed some advice about." Dorit held up the hand again. "Don't you dare insult my intelligence." For a moment, silence thickened the air. Then PK did something unexpected. He laughed. All right, maybe I should have told you. It's not what it looks like. But I know how this must feel. I'm sorry." Dorit's lips pressed into a thin line. Wow. She turned the word over in her mouth, tasting its bitterness. "PK, do you know how humiliating this is? For me, for our family, for the viewers." PK's face softened. "I made a mistake, but it wasn't that kind of mistake." Dorit's eyes flashed. "We'll see about that." The next morning, Dorit worked to headlines splashed across every gossip site. The footage had gone viral. Fans were dissecting her every facial expression, PK's every excuse, even the exact brand of water glass she'd been holding when she first saw the video. Her phone lit up with a new text from Andy Cohen. "Let's talk at reunion." Dorit took a sip from that same crystal glass, the water now tasting slightly sweeter. Scandal had arrived at her doorstep, but if anyone knew how to spin betrayal into diamonds, it was a real housewife of Beverly Hills. She slid her sunglasses on, glanced at the cameras already waiting outside her front door, and whispered one last time, "Wow." And with that, the next chapter of Dorit Kemsley's life and storyline began.